Hey, my name is Wei Wu. I'm the product manager for the Sony non-traditional software stuff. And today I would like to introduce this new product called the Media Backbone NavigatorX. First of all, let's take a look at the evolution of a file-based asset management. After 2000, the file-based concept was generated. Around like 2005, a lot of MEM vendors showed up and tried to say, media asset management, the MEM, is the best solution for file-based asset. However, MEM is still a software. So at 2005, when you try to build a software, the most popular kind of architecture is called OO, object-oriented. And how they utilize that software architecture is kind of adding more features. Because that's true, customer will ask a lot of features. Can you do transcode? Can you support QC? Can you support this format? Can you support that format? So they are adding features to this product. And finally, MEM became a giant big system. And then when most of the customers are having the MEM system, our feeling is they are really working for the MEM. It's not really let the MEM working for your operations. So around like 2011, Sony and also all other MEM vendors realized actually the approach should be changed from the traditional adding more features into a MEM product to a workflow-centric kind of idea. Because how to describe your operations? You will say, well, this is my operation flow, and then we define it as a use case. So how to draw the use case? It's the workflow. So that's actually correct. Workflow is the best way to really helping you to do automations, to do automated jobs, and also provide a visible monitoring feature to let you know what happened in your facility about your media operations. And then now another 5 years, and this year there may be a lot of vendors are talking about what's the next generation of the MEM. But our thinking is really, before we talk about what's next generation, let's take a look at what's the current situation. So again, MEM is a software. So let's take a look at what kind of technology have been used in a MEM system. .NET, right? Or Java, or Silverlight, right? And in the database side, Oracle, SQL Server, right? And MySQL, I kind of like MySQL, but it's purchased by Oracle, and you can imagine what will happen or what is happening, right? So we have a pure workflow system, and in the last 5 years, we have really integrated with all of the major MEM products in the world. And the thing we actually learned from the customers is, based on those kind of technology, what most of the MEM products look like. First of all, very complicated operation. It's a giant system. And you have a MEM system in your purchase order. They are definitely with a line, which is 2 weeks, even more than 2 weeks of the trainings. You have to take multiple sessions of training to really understand how to use this software. And then even after that, you may still have 100 questions about how to use it, right? And it's a very poor performance. Search. You have the MEM system. Sometimes we heard from customers, especially even not the management, but the end users who are using the system, they are telling us, I cannot find the asset. You bought a system which can help you to manage your content, but you still cannot find your content. Then why you need this system? And also it's slow, right? When a lot of people access the system at the same time, even just one people access the system, sometimes it's very slow, right? And cannot change your workflow. And I even try to admit even our older product has the same problem because the IT technology we used. Software engineer who has the programming knowledge can change the workflow, but you don't have the software engineers in the broadcast. You may have, but not a lot, right? The admin people, producer, directors, they cannot change workflow because of they don't know the software programming knowledge. That's also not true, right? That's also not correct. Platform dependent. Back to 10 years ago, it's okay. Everybody is using desktop or maybe a Windows laptop. But now you are using cell phone, Android, or iPhone, iPad, Mac, Windows. Even one operator may use multiple platforms. But take a look at .NET, Java, Silverlight. How can you use this kind of stuff in multiple platforms? No way, right? That's also very inconvenient. Expensive hardware and software. So I basically came from the software world. So when I first time know the MAM system, I was shocked. It's like most of the MAM system, you need a rack. It's a software which helps you to manage your content. That's it. Why you need a rack with 10 different servers to own this software? And of course, the software itself is expensive. Oracle SQL Server, nothing is cheap. Vendor need to pay to Oracle to SQL Server. I can imagine that's why Larry Ellison can buy the island in the Hawaii, right? So these are all the current situation we learned from the MAM. And then we really think, without having a good MAM solution from one vendor, include the workflow stuff, we can never make the success. That's why from last year, we really invested a lot of new IT technology to take a look at what Google, Uber, Airbnb, those kind of IT company, what they are using. We found actually the IT technology were all changed. Now it's all about not these kind of things. It's all about HTML5. It's all about PostgreSQL. It's all about Elasticsearch. Those kind of technology made the things totally different. That's how we think the next generation of the MAM should be like, first of all, platform independent. You should be able to access from anywhere, any browsers, any devices. You open it, you can access it. And a very high performance search. Because the MAM product is all about search. You need to find the content first, and then you can do next. You need to have a very, very powerful search feature. And plug and play operations. You don't need a really training. And our mind is like, let's comparing with Google. Do you need a training in Google? No. But Google is a platform allow you to search the content in the internet. And MAM is a platform allow you to manage and search your content in your facility. You don't need the training in Google. Why you need the training in the MAM product? I have a 2.5 years kid, daughter, and I plan to really, when she can enter kindergarten, I will let her try to see our NavigatorX product to see if she can use it. And workflow orchestration. So again, it cannot be just a MAM. The architecture should be service-oriented. Everything should be based on the service, and you can use this kind of service easily create the workflow. And this kind of workflow should be created by non-software engineer. So these are all the points we think the next generation MAM should be. And based on that, we create this NavigatorX. Okay. Yeah. So first of all, I'm just running this whole software in one laptop. In the real case, you still need a server, of course. But I just want to show even a laptop, the performance for a demo, it's kind of good. Comparing with a one rack with the whole MAM system, this is how the new IT technology made the whole things to change. So this is the main GUI of the NavigatorX. Let's start from the login. Open any browsers, Firefox, Chrome, Safari, or any browsers. Even in your tablet, it's support the touch panel. And just log in. And you will be able to see a very simple page. And you see all the list view of the content. And you can sort by any metadatas. And you can actually adding or changing the metadata you want to see in here, right? And also you can see the PyCon view, which show all the thumbnail. No matter if it's a JPEG file, video file, you will be able to see the thumbnails. And let me just start from the ingest. It's all file-based. So first of all, we support upload. The use case is, let's say your content is in your client. You may shoot something in your camera and you have the content in your SD card. And you can just insert it into your client, and which can allow you to simply browse your client and select a content, and then you will be able to upload it. And also, if the content is in the server, let's say the CBS Sports side, EVS transfer all the files from the truck to the broadcast center in the storage. And then we provide one feature called Asset Importer, which can browse any storages. Any storages, you can just easily mount it into our software server, and you will be able to browse from here. And then you will just browse as you browse at Windows. You can browse the folder files. You select one file, you select multiple files, and then you can load it. So for example, even a JPEG file, you load it. And we are reading, actually, you know why it's like a loading? We are actually reading this file, all the technical metadatas. That without any import, you know exactly what this file is. And you can see, I even don't understand what they are, but I think the people are using it, they know this kind of component and orientations and which camera shoot these files. And then you can just say register. And we will register this file into the NavigatorX system. And then you go back to the main GUI, you can do the search. And I actually didn't remember what's the file name I select. But I do remember, well, it's an image file. And of course, a lot. And I know it's like camera DSC something. It's still a lot. But I do remember when I browse the whole metadata, it's shoot by the Sony Nex camera. And actually you find it, it's this one, right? So like how you use Google, how you use here, you're just adding more keywords and you can do the search and find your content, and you can see it's very fast. You want to find the PDF file, you just do the search and you find it, and you can see how quick it is. And you want to find the video file, yeah, you just find it. And or any metadata, any technical metadata, any customer metadata, they will be searchable. You click one single content, you see all the metadata in here. And you can add in all the customer metadata. We provide one very functional feature called metadata schema editor. You can add in any metadata by yourself very easily in here. And when you add in here, you will be able to see this metadata from this page. Right? So, of course, it's for broadcast and production. And even for, let's say, government, bank, university, you may have 10, 100 million of the content. When you have 100 million of the content, you search in here in the Google type of things, it will just like Google. It may still give you 10 pages with a few words, right? So we still provide one very function feature called Boolean Search, Smart Search. You can add in any metadata field. It can be technical metadata. It can be customer metadata. And you can create your search criteria to make a very accurate search. And after you create this, you can actually save it. When you save it, it will be show one line in here called Smart Search. And next time, you just need one click. It's doing the search. This is dynamic. Asset info type with subtitle. It shows all the subtitle files. And this one, I even don't know what that is, but you see, you can say, I want to edit it. And then you open here, or it's a very complicated search called asset type is audio and video. And the video codec is AVC, and the update date is between this day and this date. And title contains both Sony and Sony camera name 6300. And then next time, you do not need to create this again. You can just simply click in here, and it's doing the search in the back end. And of course, the bins, we still have the static bin. You can create any bin folder structures by yourself, right? And you can have 24 season 1, season 2, or any folder structures you want to have. And then you can just easily drag and drop the content into the folder. Let's say you want to drag and drop this one into here, and next time you click here, you find it, right? And how to browse it? Let's say, for example, the image file. You have the image file. You double-click it. It will load the image file into this player window, and the previous search result will still be listed up at here. So you will not have to go back and forth. You can just click, and then you can browse this JPEG file in this video player window, and even the PDF. And you can search just in here. You will not have to go back to the main window. You do a search, find the PDF, and you click the PDF. It will also even load the PDF into this same player window. And also, like Mr. Ross mentioned, they are all searchable. The text file, let's say this nvx.pdf, the title is the only thing you have at the metadata, because they are not like a video. They have a lot of technical metadatas. It's just a PDF. If you don't know this name, you may not be able to find it in other systems. But you know what's the document you want to search. You know the keywords inside of the document, right? Let's say this one, it has a very unique keyword acquisition, and you just copy this acquisition, and you do the search in here. Say I want to search this keyword acquisition, and it find it. And you can see how fast it is. That's how powerful about elastic search, this kind of new technology can help us do this, right? And of course, the video file is the most important thing. We support all the major transcoders, Vantage, Rosetta, or any others. We can integrate with them if you have to generate proxy or generate any format. And we also have an embedded Sony transcode engine in here. We can also use our transcode to generate proxy or any format we support. And if you want to play back, and it's the proxy, you can play back in here. So you can have any flavor you want to have for the proxy, very low res to save your storage. But in this case, I just want to try to show a web browser-based player how good it is. I generated a very high-res proxy. This proxy is MPEG-4. It's MPEG-4 AVC, but it's 2560 by 1440. So it's more than full HD, lower than 4K content. And when you play back this, you can see how good it is. It's a very high-res proxy, but you see very smooth when you play back, even in the full screen, right? And you can actually easily grab it to find any frame you want to have. And also some small feature I want to introduce. One thing is called event. Actually, it's a kind of, we say, time code based or frame based metadata. You have all the metadata for this clip, but you can also have one metadata for the subclip, metadata for one frame. And you find this frame, you think it's good, or you have some problem, you can mark in and mark out this frame and say add an event. And then you can have any memo or note or any metadata you modify in here. Say, for example, this one is fireworks, right? And you save it. And next time, you may want to find this one frame instead of the whole clip. And you remember you have the metadata of fireworks. And you find it. You find this clip, and you double-click. It actually goes to this frame, right? And any thing you can still find it here, and you can find it, right? And closed caption, and you can see when I play back this original clip, it does not have any closed caption subtitles. But if you have a STL, SRT, or any other subtitle format, you can actually find it. You find the subtitle, you link into this system, and you will have it, right? And then you can select in here this closed caption file, and now you play back, and you will be able to see the subtitle shows overlay, right? And also, they are searchable. Even this kind of closed caption, they are searchable, and you can extract the closed caption file based on the timecode. And then you can search any keyword. Actually, in this election, we got a very good use case. Mr. Trump says a lot of interesting words, and some newspaper, some like a newspaper want to find that exact frame. He says some words put in the headlines. And before you have to preview the video, find that frame. And now you only just need to search the keyword he said, and you find that frame immediately, right? Not in here, but you can find, let's say, for example, this. And you find this kind of keyword, and you just click it, it will go to the right frame, have this closed caption be matched, right? Until now, it's kind of only the content management portion. Remember, I mentioned the workflow. Actually, all the operations in this system relates about workflow. But what that workflow means, let me just show you one thing. For example, let's upload one file. So I find one clip, and I want to upload and register into the system. What that mean? It's a workflow. For example, it can be we grab the high-res file, upload it to the system, and upload it to the storage, and then we take all the technical metadata from that file. And then we submit it to transcoder to generate proxy. And once proxy be generated, we may archive to LTO or Sony ODA immediately for that high-res, and you know the status. So this is a workflow. So, but from operation perspective, what I needed to do is just upload the file. And then you may wondering what happened. Operator, they just need to know when job done, they may receive email notification, whatever. But from the monitor perspective, if you click in this workflow panel, you see, oh, well, this I extend something, the asset title, now is in an import workflow. It's in progress, 8%. You see the status. And to be honestly, this line everybody can do. Why I say it's a workflow is because if you double click this, it do open a real workflow diagram. And you see exactly what happened in this workflow. I already created the thumbnail, and I already updated the asset. And now I'm doing transcode, and you can see the progress bar for this transcoding, and it's real time. And if you have an error message, you got a problem, you will be able to see an X mark in this step, and you move your mouse to the step, you will be able to see the error message. So just the one page, it helps you to know what happened in your facility. Everything is a workflow in this system. And the last question you may have is, this workflow looks good, but I want to remove these two steps and add one more step. How I can do that? We also provide a workflow editor tool, which is another HTML5 based kind of system. And we have all the steps in here. You want to add one more step, say Sony QC. I want to add the QC before I do transfer. So I drag and drop the step in here, and I want adding this step between these two steps. So I make a link, and then click it. It has all the configurable information. So what's the source file, where's the location, what's the QC profiles, how to connect it to the QC device, which device you want to use. You make the configurations, and then you go to the next. And this is how you build and change the workflow. You do not need a software knowledge or even like programming stuff to do this. Everybody, you know your workflow, you should be able to use this platform to make the change. So that's all the thing I want to show, this workflow editor tool plus this workflow monitor tool and this asset management. These three things are not different things. These three things in one package called NavigatorX. Thank you.